Hi, Mike Kennedy. I wanted to share another Eucharistic miracle. What can I say? It's a miracle. Uh, I tried to talk myself out of it. I mean, it happened a while ago, and I just couldn't. Uh, so this is the container. It's called a pyx that you would bring to Mass, and you would receive uh, some of the consecrated hosts. You would then you could bring this to someone else, whether it be like with me, I bring it home to my handicapped wife. Sometimes we use them in the prison ministry, but so that's the function of this. And it comes with a little bag for security. And so I often take this out during Mass so I don't forget to get communion for my wife. So I'm there. We're getting near that period in the Mass where the priest is gonna come, down off the altar and forward, and everybody's gonna line up and receive communion, receive the Eucharist, which is the body and blood, soul and divinity of our Lord Jesus Christ. So I've got this, and I'm kind of fidgeting with it. Sometimes, that's what I do. And I opened it, and there was a consecrated host in it. I like jumped. I was sitting, but I jumped because I was just so amazed. Uh, so, I'm thinking to myself, no, that didn't happen. No, that didn't happen. You forgot it. You forgot it. But then March 6th rolls around, and what's happened in Connecticut is a Eucharistic miracle that was witnessed by other people. The priest, for whatever reason, there's not enough consecrated hosts. He sends one of the Eucharist ministers out, and there's about 150 people in that area of the church or whatever. I'm not sure the exact details for it. But he knows he doesn't have enough hosts. The priest knows he doesn't have enough hosts. He goes over and he starts passing them out. And what's happening is realizing that the quantity of hosts that he has isn't changing. So he goes and everybody receives communion, and then he comes back to the priest and he still has some left over. Kind of like the parable of, well, not the parable, but the miracle of the loaves. When, Jesus at one point says, well, people have been following me for a while. Why don't you give them something to eat? And the disciples are like, you kidding? It's going to cost, it's going to cost several lifetimes of money to be able to feed all these people. And Jesus says, well, what do we have? He said, well, we got a couple of these loaves and some fish. And back then, often loaves were small, and that's what you would bring with you if you were going to eat later on when you're out and about, I guess. And there's 5,000 people, just counting men. So there could be women and children there. So the actual number, I'm sure, was probably at least 10,000. So he blesses the bread, breaks it, and gives it to the apostles to go distribute it. And everybody has enough, has their fill, and is satisfied. And when the apostles come back, they actually have 12 baskets of fragments left over. And they started with, was it 3 loaves or, no, I forget exactly how many loaves, and they had a fish, which I assume dried fish or something like that. So, if we have trouble believing what I've said before, this was an incident that was in public where people could see it. So what is God trying to say about this? I was too shocked when it happened to hear God say anything. But thinking of it afterwards, it seems to me that he is sufficient. Christ is sufficient. The Eucharist is sufficient to do what? To become available to everyone so that they can receive Christ and be saved, or to receive Christ and grow in holiness. That he is sufficient. He's all of it. He's all of it that we need. And he's available to everywhere, to everyone. Bye.